All right, everybody, we are back. Mitchell, how's it been going?
Not too bad, not too bad. It's been a little bit, but we're back for
Yeah,
episode 2.
yeah, we got a little bit of news here ahead of us, right? What's
Yep,
the
we
big
said we'd be
news?
on. We said we'd be on to update, so we're back
Yeah,
with a little
yes,
updates.
we're doing our best through our tough trials and tribulations of fatherhood and awesomeness.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think what are we going to start out with here? We got a couple signings to the old G men,
Oh
right?
yeah, a little Dumb and Dumber.
That's pretty much what it is. All right, so we got old Captain we got little Jameis Winston and Russell Wilson signings, right, to the Giants,
Oh yeah, to the G men.
which I think is Dumb and Dumber really does send it home. You know what I mean? Like these two are like, I mean,
Look at
does
them.
this I
Just
mean
look at those two.
we got we got hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do for everybody real quick. We got eating a dub and we got what did he say when he was in the Brown? Was it let's ride? You know what I
Let's
mean?
ride. Let's ride.
Let's
Yeah.
ride. So
Oh
what is Russell Wilson signs a 1 year deal? I think they both signed 1 year deals,
no,
right?
no, no, no. Russell had the 1 year. Winston had a 2 year deal.
Oh, he's a 2 year
Two
guy.
year. Yeah, yeah.
So the big question is, what does this mean for the Giants number 3 pick? You know what I mean? Do they go out and get Shadora? What do they do? You know what I
Right.
mean?
That's true. They can wait, maybe get some developmental guy later on in the first round. People say Jackson Dart. They can maybe trade up
That's okay.
late
So
into that
Jackson
first
Dart,
round. Yeah, that's
yes,
the name. He's been kind of linked to the Giants.
he's been linked. Yes, for sure. So, I mean, he's probably the better bet. I mean, Winston is just, he is not the dude he once was. You know what I mean?
No,
Because now he's starting to bounce around. He's becoming that guy. You
he's a
know what I mean?
journeyman. And end of the career, he's just wherever you make a dollar.
He's becoming the journeyman. The journeyman. And it's, so we were talking like, you had this, you reminded me earlier of this funny James Winston story.
Oh, yes, I do. I love it. He's a man who once got caught shoplifting crab legs and crawfish at Publix while he was in college. That's the man leading the team.
Okay, I'll I'll give him, but I'll give the benefit of the doubt. This is before, what do they call it?
The
Where they get
NIL
money,
money.
the
The
NIL.
NIL.
So
That's
maybe
true.
I'm
He
not
was
that,
hungry.
right. He's hungry, and this is before then, which we all know that boosters still give these college kids money. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. And
I'm
there's
sh-
meal plans and,
oh yes,
you're
yes,
not
yes,
hungry in college.
right. So that means, so anyway, so that means that Pittsburgh is, there's rumors about Pittsburgh. Okay. So now that Winston's there, Pittsburgh, all they have is Rudolph, right?
Yup. Yup.
And there's been rumors, not rumors, actually, there's video footage that I've
Yep.
seen
It's like a
of
sighting. There's been a sighting.
a sighting. Yes, there has been a sighting from Area 51 that our good friend that we love,
The Enigma.
Enigma, has been throwing with DK Metcalf at UCLA. So when that kind of happens, you feel that it's pretty much going to happen It's just it's any day now that
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't want to do all the team crap. So he'll wait it out till like the middle of June and then sign
oh,
the
you think he'll
deal.
wait that long?
Oh, I think so. I don't think he wants to do any like the voluntary OTAs,
Right.
the all that everything before actual training camp, all the voluntary stuff and all those voluntary workouts, May and June, those couple weeks the teams get together. I don't think he wants
Right.
anything to do with that. He's just gonna
Right.
show up. He wants to show up for training camp in July, and
Because OTAs are like right after the draft, I
I,
believe.
I
Or
yeah, it's May. It's sometime in May, I
yeah.
believe.
Is it it goes OTAs and then, or is it the rookie? Does the rookie
Oh,
training camp?
there is a rookie training camp.
I don't know if that's before or after the OTAs. I'm not quite sure 100%. But so yeah, the Enigma. We're gonna say that he is definitely going to Pittsburgh. You know what I mean? But your boys lost somebody this weekend. Or no,
My
this week.
boys.
Your Patriots. Dude, I'm a big fan of as well, actually. The Patriots lost Mr. Joe Milton.
Oh
Joe
yes.
Milton.
Oh, listen, I liked him, but
Right.
he's going to Dallas.
Right. So I saw something funny about this. It was so between 2023 and this year with Joe Milton, the Cowboys have wasted. Would they get I believe, a number 3 pick for Trey Lance.
Right. Who
Back in 20.
hasn't still
He did nothing.
he's a free agent now.
No, he signed with
Oh, he signed with the
somebody.
Chargers. He
Chargers,
signed
your
with the
boy.
Chargers. He did. Yep, he's going there.
Right.
Once again.
So he signed with the Chargers.
Right.
And so that's a 3rd-round pick that the Cowboys pretty much
Wasted.
wasted.
Yep.
And now they traded
They gave up a
5th round. It was a 5th.
it was a fifth. They gave up a fifth. The Patriots sent them a 7th, so it equals out. If you take it where they moved up like 43 draft spots. The Pats did, so it was equivalent to like a 6th-round pick.
Right, but the point of my story is that the Cowboys have wasted 2 draft picks and a 3rd and a 5th.
Right, they're valuable players there. You can get, yeah.
Right.
Well, that's Jerry Jones running the team.
I mean, I don't wish harm on anybody, but it would be great if Joe Milton came in and just wiped it out with Dak. You know what I mean? I don't want him to succeed in any way on the Cowboys, being an Eagles fan and all, but I mean,
You would find it humorous to see Dak
It
lose
would,
his job
because-
to Joe Milton.
yes, I would love it. It would be just Dak's. I know I'm biased. But we even have Cowboy friends who
Who don't like Dak?
do not like Dak. They do.
Yeah.
not. And, it's going to be a bummer with no more McCarthy. No more here we go. Because I believe that was a McCarthy thing. I believe he brought that to the table.
Yeah, but Schottenheimer was on the staff, so he might keep that rolling.
Schottenheimer is just he's
A puppet.
He's just a puppet.
Yeah.
Like McCarthy wanted to do more. Because my theory was, and now it's gone now. But my theory for the draft was that the Cowboys were going to either trade up, somehow try to get Shedora, right?
Yeah.
And remember in the off season, Jerry was pushing for prime time to be the coach.
Right.
Right. So I was like, oh, they're going to bring Schottenheimer in. He's just going to be a
The
one-year
scapegoat.
guy. Yeah. And then have draft Shadora and then have Dion come in. But then
Right.
Dion signs this huge, like, 5-year extension
Yeah,
with Colorado.
but that doesn't mean anything. We've seen guys leave college. Nick Saban signed a massive deal and he left to the NFL. Like, I think it was 3 weeks later he went to the Dolphins. So
Who was the dude? Was he coaching Atlanta? And then he pretty much quit at the middle of the season and then went to like the Razorback, Arizona, or
yes, the Arkansas. He went to Arkansas.
Arkansas. And
Yes.
like, he was like, I'm not. And then they showed him doing the Arkansas, who, like the whole chant, like 3 days later.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
So-
The coach is kind of. I could see Dion leaving to the Cowboys. Your draft predictions could still happen. I just don't. I don't see the Cowboys moving that far up.
Right. Shadora's looking more.
If he slides, if he's
Shedora?
sitting there at if Shador's there at like 10, 11, 12,
You gotta pick
I
him
think
up.
the Cowboys are what they got like the 13th pick or something.
I think the 12th. They're the 12th.
Is it 12? So he can slide. He's not. I don't know. We'll see. We'll be on
Yeah.
live.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be
Well,
here
we
live for the draft. So
Oh, yeah. We are going to be here live. Yes. For the first round. But we did see. Sorry, my bad on that. We did see Shadora and Travis Hunter working on it. It wasn't a pro day or nothing. It was just them. And as you can see, it's predominantly Travis Hunter is running routes. It's
Yeah.
not so much a defense thing. I don't know the whole session of the day. I can't remember what they were calling it or not. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think it was more of a throwing session for both
Right.
of them to show their offensive skills.
Yeah. And I'm curious to see what Travis Hunter does in the draft. You know what I mean? Like, he's going to go high. I know you're pulling for him for the Patriots, but like, what's going to be his thing? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Is he going to play corner or is he going to play strictly off? I can't see him playing both ways like he did in college. I think the
It's
NFL
not
is
possible.
too much.
it's not. It's not possible. And I didn't see a lot of Travis Hunter play, but maybe, I don't know if you have, but is he a better receiver or a better D-back? You know what
I
mean?
will say I did watch him play because I knew the Patriots have a high pick and
Right.
he was well talked and they needed a wide receiver. And I'll say this, he plays great on both sides of the ball. I don't think it matters really. My thing is I feel like he's just a little small to kind of play wide receiver in the NFL. But you got guys like Devontae Smith who do just fine, and they're
Right.
comparable in size. So you
Right.
got guys like Deshaun Jackson for years, played well. Cooper Kupp's not that big of a guy.
No. Even
So-
like Puka, Nakua is not. They're not necessarily big dudes. They just
Right.
good route runners, good hands, and go after the ball. you know,
Right.
like
yeah.
good
Antonio
ball
Brown.
skills.
Look at him.
Right.
He was good. He wasn't a big guy. So
That guy.
Oh,
One of my
yeah.
favorite clips of him is running that pump back and pretty much karate kicking the fucking punter. Like, it was against the Browns or something
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, so Russell Wilson, old Let's Ride, and old
Let's Ride.
W puncher or chopper. And I will say this about Jameis Winston. Me and you have talked about this. I used to hate Jameis Winston.
yes, you did.
Like, I hated him. And for some reason this year, he just flourished like a flower with great personality. He is awesome to listen to his press conferences. It's awesome listening to his mic'd up stuff. Like that press conference after, it wasn't the snow game against Pittsburgh when he won, but I think it was the very next game.
the next week.
He's like, yeah. He's like, "Be Lord, stop making me throw pick sixes."
Oh yeah, He likes to throw them interceptions.
Yes. So anyway, I've grown to like Jameis Winston, and since I'm in the New York market, it's going to be nice to see what happens with all that. You know
How
what
it
I mean?
all
'Cause
plays out, right?
they got Russell Wilson. They got
But there's, you know, who we didn't talk about on that Giants quarterback room, Mr.
Tommy
Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets.
Yeah, you know, they still have him. You know, hey, manja.
Yeah, and his sleazy
Agent.
agent there. Oh, what a greaseball that guy was.
That's one interesting quarterback room, I will say, with those three.
I bet you Cutlets ends up he's going to be
Cut.
a practice because they're probably going to draft somebody, you know, like a dart. I think they're going to
Right.
go dart route, you know. I know Dion was pushing for the Giants, you know what I mean? But I did see Shador was on this Eagles kind of podcast, not Eagles, but a Philadelphia-based podcast.
Yeah.
And it was kind of an off-air thing, and he was hinting Giants. I know Dion wants him to go to the Giants. He mentioned that he would like to, you know, they're big market dudes, you know what I mean?
Right. Like, where, you know, why wouldn't Dion want his kid to be in New York? Like, if you're going to be somewhere, you know.
Right. And then, you know, hopefully they get rid of the GM and, you know, Coach of the Year, Daboll there, which is
Mr.
flop.
Two guys that should have been fired.
Dude,
but
Coach of the Year 2 years ago. Give me a break. But anyway, so that is the Winston, Enigma, Shadora, Tommy Cutlets little segment we had right there.
Yeah, a little update on free agency. Actually, one little thing we can touch on. My Patriots did sign Stephon Diggs. They
did.
helped out the wide receiver room.
Yes, they did. Stephon Diggs. I think I have something actually here that you're going to be very interested in because their wide receiver room looks phenomenal. And I need you to touch base on this a little bit, okay? So I don't know if you can see that. So their wide receiver room, yes.
Yeah.
So here's their wide receiver room. We got Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Your boy Matt Collins. Was that Kendrick Bourne?
Kendrick Bourne, I like him.
This is my favorite, Pop Douglas. Who is? I've never heard of Pop Douglas.
His name is actually, well, I don't know if he may have changed it. It was DeMario. His name is DeMario Douglas.
Where did Pop come from?
That was like a nickname he had as a rookie. You haven't seen, you know, the Patriots aren't really out there for everybody to watch on prime time the last couple of years.
It's because they kind of fell off, is what you're saying.
But yeah, you know, but they do. Right. They've always called him Pop Douglas. Pop.
Oh, okay.
I'm like,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, that was a thing with him. I don't know. Kayshon Boutte. He was
supposed to be like a dude, right?
No, he was like going to be cut at the end of at the start of last season. He was like one of the fringe guys that they weren't sure was going to make the team. He was a rookie from the previous year, and he ended up being our most reliable guy last year. And they still keep putting him down. And he was promising at the end of the season.
Right.
He's one of those LSU wide receivers, and
they
produce guys. I'm like, you just got to give him a chance.
The Stephon Diggs, though, and it's a pretty decent contract as well, if I believe, right?
Yeah, I think it works out. I think it's like $25 million a year, over 3 years. But he's coming off that ACL, right?
Right.
But if he is anything close to what he was before, with what wide receivers are getting today, I think it's kind of a deal. You know, at 25, you know, guys are getting 35, 40 million a year.
Yeah.
And I think a veteran presence in that wide receiver room helps. They got a lot of young guys like that Boutte. They drafted Jalen Polk in the early second round last year.
Polk. Yeah, maybe that's who I was thinking of.
That's Polk. Who you're thinking of. And I can't believe he's not on that list because he was I think he was like the 34th, the 35th pick or something. He was high last year.
Okay.
They drafted him early second round with their second round pick. It was like early, they had a top 5 pick last year, so they were early in the second round. And dude, he was a bum. I think he caught like 11 passes the whole season. I'm like, this guy, bum.
We should compile a list, a team of everybody we think is a bum. Like, there's an all Madden team.
Yeah, like the all pro team, but the all bum team.
The all bum team. That's a good idea for another episode.
Yeah, yeah. We might come, maybe that's what we'll do. The all bum team.
Like old spot, and we'll have the old bum equipment as the logo.
Yep. The bum sweatshirts. Oh man, I had a bum sweatshirt when I was a kid. I thought it was awesome.
I had bum equipment pants, and yeah, it was great. So anyway, that is our Giants little update right now. Let's get on to the next happenings here that we had over the week. Rule changes. We had some rule changes. Nothing crazy. We had, so now the overtime rules. Okay.
Yep.
Remember so now the playoff rules are now, remember how they were different than in the regular season?
In the regular. Yep.
So now I believe both teams get the ball.
Yep.
And it's 10 minutes. You know what I mean? So now that playoff rule now goes into the regular season. So now it's all one big entity. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now the playoff rules are now throughout the whole season.
The whole season.
Yeah.
Which I like that rule. I think everybody should get a chance. Football's different to do sudden death. It's not like soccer and hockey where it's like you're possessing the ball on both sides in that kind of sport. So allow both teams a possession and see what you could do.
Yeah.
I do wonder if this will bring more ties to the NFL though.
Yeah, because it's 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. And, a team can go down and have a 6-minute drive, kick a field goal, and now all you got to do is you got 4 minutes to kick a field goal to tie the game, and a tie is better than a loss, when it comes to the end of the season.
Yeah, but a tie is just...
Oh, it's garbage.
It's just like
it should be
all that for nothing. You know what I mean?
It should be counted as worse than a loss. So it would benefit teams... to not try to go for the tie. Right.
And then the kickoff.
The kickoff, yes.
Sorry, I'm not 100% up to par here. Like I'm a little scotch. I've 2 kids that have had strep throat, and I'm a little scotch. I'm getting the shrapnel of it all. You know what I mean? Oof. So yeah, it's been all right. So now the kickoff, nothing big. So now a touchback instead of the 30, they have the zone.
Right.
Now it's to the 35 to try to encourage more returns. But why don't they just move the ball back? You know what I mean? Like, why just move the ball back instead of kicking, kick the ball back further. So it's more of
I've seen discussions on this, and the problem is they say that with the kickers today, you could put the ball at the 20-yard line on the other side, and these guys could still boot it out the back of the end zone. So,
and did you notice with this is where teams almost were like, whatever, we'll just play defense from the 30, you saw them just saying F it and just. Booting.
Yeah, take
so
the
there's no
back.
returns. You know what I mean?
Right.
But there was an increase of kick returns. I think it was now and I'm not quoting that but I believe it went from 18% the year before to maybe 28%. These are rough numbers; they're not exact.
Oh no!
It was something that.
I have the numbers here. It went from 21.8% in 23 to 32.8 last season.
So I was close. Not too bad.
You were close.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. No, that's not bad.
Right.
and they're hoping that this will encourage more kickoff returns.
Right.
So
Right. Bring back the guy like the Dante Hall and Devin Hester. Like, it was great to see great running back or great run backs and stuff. I get it. Like, I get the safety of it all and all that, but I don't
those
know.
were exciting plays to see, like a kick return.
Oh, absolutely.
They were
Remember
game
that?
changers.
Remember, it was the Super Bowl with the or not the your crybaby Colts and the Browns.
Oh no,
First
The
kickoff of
Bears. Hester.
the Bears,
Yeah,
the
Hester.
Bears,
Hester.
the Bears.
Yes,
I meant not
yes.
the Browns.
The Bears.
Devin
Yeah,
Hester
Hester
ran
took
it
it
right
back.
back.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, that
But that
Bears team.
Rex Grossman,
I was just gonna say that Rex Grossman made it to the Super Bowl. Unbelievable defense, but
that was a classic. And yes, and Devin Hester running a ton of kicks back that
a
year.
lot. I think he set like records that year with kickoffs and punts and
Yeah. And then what do we got for our other rule here? Oh, the first down.
yeah.
Well, there's the first down. So now they're calling it the Hawkeye technology.
Yup.
Hawkeye Technologies, which I believe it goes like the cones, the pylons from each end. It's kind of like a laser line.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I'm still curious how this is gonna work. So there's no more chain gang, I guess. Are they
The
still
chain
gonna have
gang's
the?
going to still be there,
Okay.
but as like a reference on the field, like you know what I mean. So like you think about like route runners, they're seeing the chains and doing like
Right. Right.
you know what I mean. No, the chain gang is still going to be there,
Okay.
but it's going to be, and I'm not sure if there's a camera overhead. I don't think they have gotten that far into it, but I do know it's going to be pylon to pylon, which is like in the goal line. Like they got the pylons. It's going to be, I think that might come into play eventually as well. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Where I don't know if they're going to put it like a chip in the ball or whatever. So like they can actually see, sometimes you can't
Right.
see
You
the
don't.
ball. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
In that big pile of players, you're like, where is the ball? Did he cross the line? Did he
Right. And
not?
that was the big stink with the Bills and that one of those tush pushes that
From Josh Allen.
Josh Allen did. And
Yup.
they claimed he had a first down. Some people say they did. Some people say they didn't. It's your judgment call. I was very close, but and then I think there's a replay assistant, and it's gonna be like. So here's what it says. It says the NFL replay assist system will be expanded to provide guidance to officials on specific objective aspects of plays, addressing issues like intentional grounding, roughing the passer, and hitting a runner out of bounds. So almost like you can replay.
So are these? So this won't be like a coach's challenge though. It's
So
gonna
say there's
be
a
like
flag. So say there's a flag thrown on intentional grounding. Okay. And that's supposed to be the ref's discretion.
correct.
It can be challenged if it is or it isn't. You know what I
Oh,
mean?
okay. I wasn't sure if this was going to be like one of those things where they just kind of have that like ref in the booth that kind
It
of
could be. It could be.
just tells them like, "Hey, not a call," or
Right.
like
assisted.
the face mask on Joe Burrow there on that 2-point
Yeah.
conversion at the end of the game this past season. They kind of
They got
they
hosed.
they kind of got
yeah.
hosed on that.
Oh yeah, they did get hosed. So then we come to the infamous tush push here.
Oh, that's
Okay.
one that hits home.
Now, this is ridiculous. Okay.
We
I've
touched on
never-
this on our first episode a little bit.
A little bit. But so the rules committee meeting was this past week. Okay. So they pushed it until May. Okay. And I believe the vote was 16-16 of
Correct.
owners. So, but it's got to be,
Unanimous.
yeah,
I
there's got to be
believe.
two-thirds,
Two-thirds.
I
That's what it
believe.
is. It's a
So,
two-thirds. Yeah.
so you got, it's just, you got, I'm just going to get right into it here. You got these two idiots, okay? You got these two idiots who keep bringing up that it's a rugby play. It's not like football aesthetic. Like it's not a football appealing play. That it's more rugby. You know what I mean? Like now, what do you know about these two coaches? What happened to these two coaches this year? Okay, who did they lose to?
I was just going to
These
say.
two. Hey, I'm Sean McVay, and it's not aesthetically pleasing, and
So, if you also
dude,
look at these.
I want to punch him in the face, both
Right.
these little weasels,
And
both
if
of
you.
them.
And their coaching style is this new school football
Yeah.
where they want to spread it out and just, routes and different motions and all kinds of this. Not
Like
your
a
typical.
Josh McDaniels is one of them guys,
Right.
Is that
They.
Mike, Josh, yes, Josh.
No, Mike. No, Mike McDaniels from the
Mike
Dolphins.
McDaniels. Sorry.
Yeah. These NFL offensive gurus that they call,
Right.
That's what. And these guys don't like it because it's not their style. Their teams don't align with that hard nosed kind of football.
Right.
And
you got to do like DeMarco Murray, who is like, dude, it's a great play. You got to stop it. You got to stop it. You know what I mean?
And there's a coach out there of the old school still, Dan Campbell. He's an old school coach. He loves the smash mouth football, and
oh yeah,
his comment on it was, I am of the old school, and that they found something, and it's up to everybody else to stop it. So I'm a hard yes on the play being legal.
right.
So here's a different style of a coach who just says he probably loves it. He's a big smash mouth football. They love running the ball up there in Detroit, and
absolutely.
he's like, you know what? They found a way to beat us, so now it's our way to stop it.
And it's not like it's like 3 yards. It's like such a minimal play. Like it's just ridiculous. Like it's ridiculous to me.
It's a quarterback sneak with a little bit of flair to it, I guess you could call it. It's nothing that hasn't been done for years.
So the one guy, I got a little audio, I got a little video clip here for you. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And this aggravates me to the maximum of aggravation. Okay. And you're going to see why. Well, we'll touch on it, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. Here. So let's play this a little bit here. Okay.
I think similar to how I felt at the combine, I've done, I've dove deeper into more of the data on it, and just thought more about it as well. And my position hasn't really changed at all. And I feel where I'm most concerned is, even though there's not significant data out there to this point.
All right, I'm pausing it right there for a second. Dude, you completely
He's a hypocrite.
Contradicted yourself. He said, I went and looked at more data and then said, there's not any data.
Yeah, my position hasn't changed after I looked at the data, but there isn't any data to support my decision.
I dug deeper and looked at more data. Now here's what drives me even crazier about this guy. Sorry for, I'm going to beat that up maybe. This is a Philly guy. Studied under Jim Johnson, not Jimmy Johnson. Jim Johnson, the magnificent defensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles way back in the day. He was his protege, I guess you would say.
Right.
And was a defensive coordinator for Philly. You would consider him an old school guy.
Right.
Okay. So, and here he is. He gets better. He gets better.
Yeah.
Just,
All right.
let's get back into it.
My biggest concern is the health and safety of the players.
Okay.
First and foremost.
What are you seeing with the health and safety of the players? Since, as you said, there is really no data to say there's injuries. Like, what are you seeing?
Yeah,
that has
I mean,
you
I think
concerned?
anytime you get in, it's two things. It's force, added force, number one, and then the posture.
Football is
of
force.
Players, being asked to execute that type of play. That's where my concern comes in.
Do you think you'll continue to run the play if it remains, and you have concerns about the safety?
There you go.
Do you think you'll continue to run it? Because I think you ran it quite a bit last year.
A form of it, right? A form. Of it. So I think it's a loose term, really, in terms of what defines a tush push.
Okay. Muff you, dude. Like a form of what? Okay, and they talk about
It was the same. I don't know. I think everybody watched the game. It looked like the tush push, but it looked different because they couldn't execute it.
right. They couldn't execute it because
That's why it was
again,
different.
Josh Allen just kept doing the same thing instead of getting low. Like,
Oh, this man
and
is
they
a
talk
dope.
about, he's a dope. And they talk
Well,
about,
you know
like,
what?
Go ahead.
I might have just found our head coach for our all bum team.
And it's not his fault that Buffalo just can't win the big game or get there. It's just a Bills curse. Like, there is curses in the NFL, I believe.
Right. I think there's curses in all sports, but yes, the Buffalo is cursed.
But with this coming out now, with him saying, like, come on, dude.
It just looks bad for him. His team did it 6 times in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, 7. I believe it was 7.
7? Okay, 7
including
times.
the 2-point conversion. Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
and now you want to ban it? I don't understand.
And they all say safety of the players, right? The safety
Right.
of the players, okay? And here, read this little funky stat here, okay? Not that
Oh,
one.
you did some data?
Well,
Is this
scooped up some
data?
data? Yeah, I did.
Oh,
scoop up
okay.
some data. Yeah,
McDermott's big on the data.
he's
So.
a huge data guy. You know what I mean? Here we go. There's your data.
There's some
Okay.
data. There's some data for everyone to see.
So the league's internal data on the tush push revealed there was 0% injury rate on what is known as the tush push. There's concern over the potential for injury.
But there's a potential for injury on every NFL play. Are we going to just stop playing
Dude, are you
football?
kidding? These guys are machines.
Right.
Every play is. What's his face? Dre Greenlaw ran out in the field and tore his AC. He ran off the sideline.
Right. It wasn't even a play. He was going in.
We're gonna ban running off the sideline. Like, you can't. You got to skip. Or like get on a
A segue to the huddle.
when they talk about the potential of injury. Every play you can get injured. You can get injured in anything. Okay?
Right.
That's the risk of football.
Yeah, it's
You're wussifying this. You're wussifying it for you. You know what I mean?
I don't understand the big push. Everybody is against the tush push. I really don't understand the whole.
I don't get it. Because it's not like it's every yard. It's not like a big gainer. Everybody can do it. That's the thing,
Right.
too. Everybody can do it. They just don't do it. And
they just can't
birds.
execute it. Yeah, the birds.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, so we have nominated a coach for the a bum team, the all bum team.
The all bum team. We have
two
McDermott.
assistants as well. Two assistants as well.
Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, Mitch, You know what time it is.
Oh. Allegedly busted.
It is allegedly busted. All right. So we're going to try to bring you something each episode on this. All right. So this is kind of a big one. Okay. It's a player that I don't really remember anything about him. But what makes it interesting is here's a guy, what is it? LaShawn Johnson. Okay. He got busted for the biggest dogfighting ring in U.S. history. Okay. Big time. Way bigger than Michael Vick.
Oh, yeah. He makes 190 dogs seized. Yeah, he makes Michael Vick's like an amateur compared to this guy.
Right. Yeah.
You know.
He played from 1994 to 1999. He was on the Packers, the Cardinals, and the Giants. I really don't remember this dude at all. You know what I mean?
No, I don't myself.
Yeah, what is it? Johnson allegedly raised champion and grand champion fighting pit bulls and then sold breeding rights around the country. Okay. 190 dogs.
Seized.
And it looked seized, yes. Oh, yeah, they recovered 100. He's up on 21 charges in massive federal dog fighting. This guy's in trouble. You know what I mean?
Oh, he's in big trouble.
Yeah, big time. So that's our little alleged busted guy. I mean, Richard Sherman, we're not saying he's busted, but...
Well, he got busted by someone that wasn't the cops.
He got busted in on.
Yeah, he got busted in on.
And dude, you notice a lot of this is like happening lately. Like, look at the Joe Burrow, Travis Kelce, right?
Yeah, and it's just not the NFL. I was reading the whole thing. It's all over sports. I guess a couple basketball players have had it happen. There's a whole ring going on with that. It's like a gang. They check out when teams are going to be on the road.
Right. Yeah.
And so, schedules are out there, they know when these guys are traveling. They're not home and they bust these places.
Yeah. And luckily for Joe Burrow, that whole story, how they caught the dudes. They actually caught
wearing the gear.
Well, they got pulled over for something dumb. Okay. And how the cop got suspicious was the cop was like, where are you headed? And they're like, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, blah, blah, blah is that way. Like, not that way. So the guy got suspicious and they end up searching the car and finding all this like LSU gear and whatever that was Joe Burrow's. So these guys just happened to a minor traffic stop turned into a finding of Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow stuff. So
yeah, I know I saw video or not video but pictures of them wearing all his like
right.
his stuff,
You
and
can
it's
see
like
the body cam footage too. You can see it. Like, I know it's out there. I've seen it. So yeah. So anyway, Mitch, fun little day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nice little episode here, a little update to keep the people updated with what's going on around the NFL.
Yeah.
Like we said, we'd pop in, do some little episodes here before the season started.
Yeah. I think the big thing we're all waiting for is see what the Enigma does. The old Enigma, I mean.
The Enigma and the draft.
And then we got the draft. We're going live for the draft. The first round on Thursday night. We will be here. You know what I mean? And, I mean, what do we smash the like button, right? Isn't that what we say? And subscribe.
Something like that, right?
We got an Instagram page up. We got our Twitter page. Our Facebook page is under construction right at the moment. But anyway, Mitch, always a pleasure.
It was a pleasure. It was a pleasure.
And
and also this was our first episode not in studio together. So
right, yeah, we are separated.
Yeah, for
by area codes. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I will not cheat on you because I'm in a different area code. Just remember that. I'll always. Anyway, guys, see you next time.
We'll see you next time.